We have 5 absolutely massive CGC slabs coming up for auction this month. Let's check it out. What's up, guys? This is Brad. So we have some major potential for some really big sales here over the next month or so. I've got 5 different slabs that are up for auction, either on Heritage auctions or Goldin auctions. And they're such big slabs that I figured they warranted an extra video before they even sell. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 5 slabs that are coming up in May on Heritage or Golden auctions. We're going to start off with this one. So this is the 1980 Miracle on Ice Sports Illustrated cover, and this is a CGC 9.8 copy. This is a monster. Heritage has it listed with an estimate of 40,000, and what I've noticed is that Heritage has been pretty conservative on their estimates lately. They're trying not to overshoot. And I'm going to be honest, I actually think that 40,000 number, as huge as that is, might be low for this one. And here's why. So this is a Pop 2. There are 2 copies of this issue in a CGC 9.8. And the other one, neither of them have hit the market so far. There has been one 9.6 hit the market. A 9.6 copy of this issue sold on Heritage last year for $25,000. That was a 9.6. So what's the 9.8 going to go for? This issue, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic in Sports Illustrated history. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most collectible issue ever. In fact, I want to say on my top 100 countdown of most collectible covers of all time, it came in somewhere around like maybe 30, something like that. And largely that's because there aren't any just like significant athletes on this cover. I mean, this USA hockey team from 1980, it was all amateurs. This was a major underdog victory, major upset. No one expected these guys to win, to defeat the Russians. And so, most of the collectability of the big time covers are driven by superstar athletes. That's not the case here. This is one of those where it is the moment. This is one of the biggest examples, if not the biggest example in Sports Illustrated history, where this cover is driven by the moment and just the history. And look at that image. This is one of the very, very rare occasions where Sports Illustrated did not even put any heading and no headline on the cover. It is literally just Sports Illustrated and then the photo. Just let it speak for itself. So I actually think that I saw a poll several years back that Sports Illustrated put out where they were having people vote on the most iconic issue, and this one came out #1 for most iconic, and I think it'd be hard to argue with that. So for all those reasons, and like I said, considering that the 9.6 sold for 25,000, I could see this one going above 40,000. I'm not going to necessarily make a guess on a number, but we're definitely going to keep our eyes on this one because this could be a pretty big sale. All right, next up, Michael Jordan's first pro cover. This has been, I mean, maybe almost the face of the hobby now for the past couple of years, largely because it's been one of the first major covers where we've seen high grade copies hit the market. A 9.8 copy of this issue still holds the all-time record for highest sale. It went for $126,000. Highest sale of a Sports Illustrated, I believe highest sale of a graded magazine, period. So that was the 9.8. The 9.6, we actually have had 2 sales already here in recent years of a 9.6 copy. So in 2023, a 9.6 sold for 36,000. And then earlier this year in 2024, a 9.6 sold for 33,000. So you can see here, Heritage is definitely being very conservative with their estimate, listing it at 20,000 plus, even though 2 copies in the past, just a little over a year have each sold for over $33,000. So it will be interesting. The trend we have seen with the graded Sports Illustrated magazines is that the first to market will typically command the strongest price, and then we'll see a little bit of a drop off on subsequent issues. And we did see that a little bit with the second one, although that's still pretty strong. First sale was 36,000, second one was 33,000. So we'll see what this one goes for. It just depends on how many high-end collectors are out there that are willing to battle it out at that level. I will say, just anecdotally, I'm noticing more and more people get interested in this hobby. Now there's still a flood right now of slabs on the market. There was a huge influx of magazines getting graded over the past year and a half, and that has created oversaturation of the market just as far as slabs in general. But I'm seeing more collectors get interested, more people jump into the hobby, more people jump into these groups that I'm in, more people commenting on my videos and this type of thing. So be really interesting to see if any of these high-end, sports card collectors, if any more of them start jumping in and getting interested in this hobby. And we'll see what this third 9.6 does compared to the other two. All right, next up, Mickey Mantle's first Sports Illustrated cover from 1956. I mean, this is considered by many to be the grail, the grail issue in the hobby. And this is a really beautiful newsstand graded at a CGC 8.5. So the most recent high-end mantle that sold was in 2022. It's been nearly 2 years now. And that one sold for, well, that one was a 9.0 and it sold for $27,000. An 8.5 subscription with the label removed sold last year for $3,000. All right, so you got to imagine that this 8.5 newsstand will be somewhere between 3,000 and 27,000. Although then again, like I said, that was almost 2 years ago that the 9.0 sold for 27 grand. So I wouldn't be shocked, if this even goes a little higher than that. But if I had to make a guess on this one, I would land at maybe around 15,000. I will go ahead and make a guess on the Mantle first cover. Heritage is estimating 10,000. I'm gonna say 15,000 is my guess. We'll see where this one lands. I mean, if there's any high-end collectors out there and they're looking to get into the hobby, this is gonna be one of the first ones that they want to grab. And 8.5, very strong grade for this 1956 Mickey Mantle first cover. All right, next up, this is not a Sports Illustrated, but this is gonna be massive. This is on Golden Auctions. This is the very first issue of Playboy. It's from 1953. Marilyn Monroe on the cover, iconic, and it's a CGC 9.6. Not only that, but it's the page 3 variant. The page 3 variant. And I didn't even really know about the page 3 variant. I didn't know what that was all about until I started reading into the description on this auction item. So let's actually check out what Ken Goldin has to say about this one.
What I'm holding is the magazine that inspired a social and sexual revolution.
I think Playboy clearly was a personal wish book and became very quickly a kind of a handbook for a lifestyle.
In 1953, 27-year-old Hugh Hefner realized the need for a gentleman's magazine. Hefner, with $600, put together the first issue by himself on his kitchen table in his Chicago apartment, and it was released in December 1953. The cover features Marilyn Monroe, who actually never posed for Playboy.
The picture was something that had been shot before, and nobody had seen it because the post office had taken the position that you couldn't send nudity through the mail.
Hefner purchased the never-before-seen nude photos of her for $500, and she became Playboy's first Sweetheart of the Month. The first issue was a huge success, with all 50,000 copies selling out at just 50 cents a copy. What makes this first issue special is that of the nearly 500 graded, this is the single highest graded at a CGC Near Mint Plus 9.6, as well as a page 3 copy variant with less than 500 believed to be ever made. This is your chance to own the single highest graded copy of Playboy #1 in the world, and it's only available right now in the Goldin 100.
Okay, so here's the details on the page 3 copy. Let's see here. Hugh Hefner himself cut production of the page 3 edition. Not only that, he reportedly sought to remove rogue examples from newsstands and destroy them all. Because Hef was utilizing a trick of the magazine trade, a sleight of hand in which you boost page count and ad revenue by calling the cover and inside cover your pages 1 and 2. Unfortunately, the typesetter went ahead and added a number 3 to the first interior page, which would not only reveal the ruse, but also confuse readers who might think pages 1 and 2 were missing, hence the almighty page 3 copy. So that is pretty interesting. Like I said, I did not ever know anything about that page 3 variant. And this is a pop one, none higher, as Ken Goldin said in the video. The opening bid by Goldin Auctions is $150,000. That is pretty ambitious, but a 9.4 copy sold last year in 2023 for $120,000. So maybe it's not overly ambitious. Maybe it's realistic, especially when you consider that the 9.4 was not one of the page 3 variants and that this 9.6 is none graded higher. So $150,000 opening bid. Will be interesting to see if this one gets any action or even possibly goes higher than that. All right, and last one up. How about this? Sports Illustrated 2022. This is Mbappe, possibly the greatest current soccer player in the world. It's his first Sports Illustrated cover. This is a CGC 9.9. Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is the very first ever CGC 9.9 copy of a Sports Illustrated magazine. In fact, it is the only copy to this date that has been graded as CGC 9.9. And I double checked the other day. There have now been over 27,000 copies of Sports Illustrated graded by CGC, and this is still the only one graded above a 9.8. So, what's this one going to go for? It hasn't even been listed on Goldin as of the recording of this video, but I know that it is coming. So I don't know what their opening bid is going to be. And really tough to speculate what a final price might be. This is a pretty unique item, and it will be really interesting and really exciting to see where it lands. That's it. Please drop a comment and let me know what you think some of these are going to go for. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to this channel. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.